Welcome to Rage Against the Regime Radio, where status quo gets taken to task. With your host, Bobby Who's Demand. Don't be a stranger. Give us a call at 929-477-3565 or contact us at rageagainsttheregimepodcast@gmail.com or on our Twitter at RATR Podcast. And please like our Facebook page. On with the show. Here's Bobby.
A voice with hopes that you're listening. Voice of America, I'm speaking from the citizens. Tired of the lies, all the false narratives. For us to survive, we must stand up as Americans. Need to alter the course that's been written. It's history, not his story. They mix it in with fiction. Behind the scene decisions, you're blind to see the visions. Freedom isn't free, society is prison. Fed up, I won't let up. There's no more room for mess ups. The administration's a bit outrageous. I think it's time we step up. How about I check off the definition of evil? Pay millions to bomb countries, but can't feed our own people. These countries don't even pose threats. Can Congress or progress? Syria, no GMOs left. Rothschilds want their own checks. Pipelines to control next. How many more lives will drones get? It's 7 countries, 5 years destabilized. No sweat.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Rage Against the Regime Radio, and I am your host, Bobby Who's the Man. Let me apologize first of all for my voice. My voice is completely cashed. I was at a football game yesterday watching the Bears against the 49ers and pretty much screaming, hooting, hollering, and everything else. So I ended up losing my voice. I also want to apologize. The other day, I ended the show abruptly, and the reason why I did that, for any of you that did not hear what I said before I went off the air, Casey Massey was calling me. So I wanted to be able to get Casey's call and talk to him and find out, all the latest going on with him and be able to report it. The news still stands. January 4th will be his sentencing date. Nothing has changed with his health. Pretty much the same thing over and over. They sent him to a heart doctor for his liver. If that makes any sense. A heart doctor for his liver. So he said that they just been jagging him around. He's still in solitary confinement. Some of you know it as SAG. Single man cell. He doesn't get any movement. His food is brought to him. Telephone is brought to him. He has a shower in his cell. He goes nowhere. Doesn't go to yard. Doesn't go to rec. Doesn't do anything. But they did promise him, the commander on the deck did say, once he got sentenced, that they were going to move him as soon as possible. So I know that he is pretty happy about that, though he's not too happy about, of course, the sentence coming down and everything else. But I know he wants to get over with, because he wants to be able to appeal this case one day. So he has to wait 1 year and 1 day before he can appeal it. So that would be January 5th, 2017, before Casey Massey would be able to appeal his case. I want to talk about some things that are going on right now. There's been so much information coming out about the shooting in San Bernardino. Information being released that it was a false flag attack. I've been saying that for a little while now. I also said, just so people understand what a false flag is doesn't mean that people didn't die. It didn't mean that, things didn't happen. It just means that, our government allowed them to come here to this country to cause the chaos and the havoc that they caused. and, do the damage and everything else. And, we're not saying that we knew that they were going to allow them to do anything. It's not like it was planned out to a full extent with those people, but, the government knows. They have so many people on these terror watch lists. They know who a lot of these people are, okay? Don't think for 1 minute they don't. They're acting like they don't. There was a report that came out today. I'm not going to veer off the subject. I'm going to explain false flag to everybody that didn't catch it the other day. But, they say that there's over 100 people working for the government and the Department of Homeland Security and, anything to do internally with the government that are on terrorist watch list. How in the hell did they not catch these people? When they were vetting them and stuff and looking up their information, how did they not find that? That to me, it's just a mystery in itself. So now, with all those people, that they know about, there is information that was that was leaked today that there is 1,000 probes or more of ISIS activity that the government is on. They are investigating over 1,000 probes of ISIS activity in the United States. If that doesn't make you sick, I don't know what will. Now, of course, the president last night was on TV, gave his little speech, which in my mind, he talked about a whole lot of nothing. Okay? A ton of nothing. Of course, he's talking about gun control and, this and that, and he talked about a whole lot of nothing. And if we give up, if we have stricter gun laws and not so many people have guns, that terrorists won't attack us. I mean, you've got to be an idiot to even make a comment like that. Whoever the writers are for the White House and everything, I mean, they must have been trying to make Obama look like a fool on purpose. It's the only thing that I can think. Because that was terrible. Okay, the man he's not stupid. Okay, he's not stupid. He had to know what he was saying, and he had to be looking like, really, I'm saying this? But 1,000 probes, over 1,000. Okay? Over 1,000. Let me get back to the false flag. False flag is, it's something that, they let them come here. They let them get into the country. Something is done that creates fear. And it's done on purpose to strike fear into people. And it's the government's way of getting, people that are not in the know and people that are scared to pretty much, oblige with them in the movement. And it's pretty scary how many people in this world right now are not in the know. They're not paying attention to everything that's going on. And quite frankly, they don't believe anything that you or I, if you're listening to this broadcast, then chances are you have the same beliefs that we do. And most of the world does not believe us, or they don't want to believe it, and they don't want to hear it, and they don't want to, even know anything about anything that's going on. So then again, they don't have to be worried. Which to me is just outright crazy. Just completely outright crazy. People, we really, 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 right now, we have a chance to really make an impact and make some strides. Now more than ever. Sheriffs are coming out around the country asking for people to come together, people that have guns and, that they're licensed to own a gun and to carry and so on and so forth, to pretty much be a posse and a militia for their states. Sheriff Joe Arpaio asked for 250,000 people in Arizona to be their state's militia, their state's posse, their state's, force to be reckoned with if, terrorists or anything try to go to that state to mess around. And I must tell you, I have a lot of respect for that man. Sheriff Joe Arpaio, I have a lot of respect for him. There was a lot of different rumors that came out about him, that he was supposedly, related to the Rothschilds and, or was it the Rockefellers? It doesn't really matter. It's just that he was related to one of them and, this and that. Really? If that was the case, do you think that he would have been, sicking his squad, his cold case posse on Obama, trying to dig for all the information that they can come up with on Obama if that was the case? Absolutely not. It would be the exact opposite. It doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. It doesn't make any sense where some of these crazy rumors come from. But oh well, they come. But Sheriff Joe Arpaio, what he does with some of his, well, not some of, but all the prisoners in the county jail and stuff in his state, he makes them wear pink, makes them stay outside in the heat, in the desert at nighttime, makes them eat pink bologna, and he's got some crazy things that he does, and in his mind, he feels that, criminals will not keep doing, crimes and going to jail if they have to face these crazy consequences. And I must tell you, I think I kind of agree with it a little bit. But, if I wasn't living in Illinois and in Chicagoland area, I would probably be living in Arizona. Not just because my wife has a lot of family there and so on and so forth, but because I like the state. I don't like the heat, but I like the state. It's pretty laid back and it's beautiful. They have some beautiful areas to go to there. Any of you that have never been there and you really want to go somewhere, I highly, highly recommend, if you want to see a beautiful mountain area, go to Apache Junction. And if you want a very kick-ass meal in an old western town that's pretty much a biker town now, I would say go to Tortilla Flat. Beautiful place. It's it's not too far from Apache Junction. So in Sedona, Arizona, my gosh, beautiful. One of the most beautiful places probably in Arizona. And you have to be a millionaire to own a home there. And if you went there to see some of the houses, you would understand what I'm talking about. Some houses have waterfalls. Their front of their house is like a waterfall, and I don't even know. It's crazy, super crazy. Some other things that I want to talk about. January 9th, a lot of patriots and We Are One America are coming together, and they're trying to do a call of arms, and they're trying to get everybody to come together and do a course of action. If you feel interested and you want to get involved with that, please look up the We Are One America page on Facebook. There's a lot of people that are involved with it. Anybody that's part of the WIN Network, which we are part of the WIN Network, Bobby B. Singer and his guys, Billy, I'm trying to think of who else, Mark Hoffman, everybody. There's a pretty good sized group going right now, and they're growing more and more every day. And they're asking for everybody to come together, and they're doing a call to arms. So if you would like to get involved with that, please go ahead, like the page, and go from there. I mean, I think that they have a pretty good thing that they're trying to put together. I don't have all the paperwork in front of me, so I can't give you the full details. That's why I'm going to tell you guys to just go ahead on over and go to the We Are One America page. Okay, that's that. Let's see, other things that I want to talk about. One of these, I thought it was actually funny. I think he was a lieutenant colonel. He went on TV, he was being interviewed, and this was after Obama did his speech. And the commentator that was doing the news with him, or, doing the interview with him, asked him, what did you think of Mr. Obama's speech? And, he starts talking, he goes into this whole thing, and then all of a sudden he says, Obama is a pussy. My God, I thought that was hilarious. That's going to be a soundbite to be heard forever and ever. Let's see what happens to that gentleman, because who knows, when you call out Obama, usually bad things happen. So, but the commentator came back and said, oh, thank you for the information, but just to let you know, you can't talk like that. I thought it was funny. It was pretty hilarious, actually. Let's see, some other things to talk about. We need to have more get-togethers and more meetings, and having people do the face-to-face stuff. And the reason why I say that is there's been a lot more reports coming out that the feds are really all over social networking, especially Facebook. That's no surprise. I've been knowing that. That's why I never add anybody to my Facebook anymore. I've actually been taking people off of my Facebook. And there's a lot of people that I really wouldn't mind adding, but I've really been staying away from the adding people. And a lot of you that listen send me messages, hey, add me on Facebook, this and that. I'm sorry that I don't, but I try to keep my personal life and my family completely separated from, what my personal beliefs and stuff are, and, what my political views and so on and so forth are. So, please don't be offended if you sent me a friend request and trying to get me to add you on Facebook. But if I don't know you, or if we're not really, really tight in some groups and stuff like that, there's like a 99.9% chance that I won't add you. I'm a firm believer in, a lot of people that are out here, they don't need to know your family's personal things, like how many kids do you have, how many grandkids do you have, etc. And I'm just really a firm believer in that, and I'm sorry, if you might be offended, but there's too much information that's been being leaked out, and it's not being leaked, it's being put out there for your consumption, that, the feds are all over these networks. The social media, they're all over. Okay? And they're trying to get on there, they're trying to see who your friends are, what you guys are talking about, what the interaction is, so on and so forth. Shouldn't be a surprise to you whatsoever. Okay? And I'm willing to guarantee that most of you probably have one, maybe two feds already on your Facebook. And I know you're going to be thinking, oh, why the hell would I have feds? I, vet my people very well, and this and that, and whatever, and so on and so forth. And it doesn't mean anything, folks. It really doesn't. They're supposed to be on there. Because, remember, they have patriots, 3%ers, oath keepers, and stuff like that. They have us listed as homegrown terrorists. I mean, I know it's as goofy as it sounds, but they have us listed as homegrown terrorists. And it's a damn shame. It really is. It's a damn shame. This country has went to hell in a handbasket. There's nothing that's really being done about it. And it kind of sucks. You got idiots like Ted Cruz that are coming forward. They're trying to make a difference. And I'm going to tell you something. The gig is up on Ted Cruz and his wife. Okay? The gig is up. Do your homework. Look them two up. They're two of the most crooked out of them all. Two of the most crooked out of all of them. Ted Cruz and his wife. Look it up. I'm not just saying it to be, oh, you're just saying that. No, I'm not. I'm just saying that. I'm telling you the truth. Look it up. I have no reason to lie to you. I have no reason to tell you some fairy tale of a story or anything else. All the information that I get, you can go ahead and look up. Okay? Always willing to share, always willing to give you any kind of information, and I always ask you, please, if you have any doubt in anything that I'm telling you, please, by all means, go ahead and look it up, get any information, and, and search. You will find out if I'm right or wrong. Alrighty, but that's going to be the show for today. I've got some bigger shows planned here coming up soon. We're just getting back to normal. Becky did a show yesterday. I highly recommend that you go and listen to it. It was a damn good show. Okay, for now, it's been me, and it's been nice. So, until next time.
Thank you for listening to Rage Against the Regime Radio. Don't be a stranger. Please like our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter at RATR Podcast. And feel free to leave some feedback whenever you listen to us. You can also email us at rageagainsttheregimepodcast@gmail.com.